All right, so we have matter of Joshua Scott, 231066.
For gentleman act, Mr. Scott.
Okay, thank you very much. And I didn't say that to Mr. Hennigar, but he also dressed nice for court. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. And today is the date scheduled for a probation violation hearing. Mr. Scott is on probation for operating while visibly impaired by alcohol. It's alleged he tested positive for alcohol on September 21st. Failed to attend workforce October 5th. Failed to pay. Tested positive for alcohol October 4th. Failed to attend probation October 11th. That'd be technical violations 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And on October 16th, your client entered not guilty plea and we scheduled it for a hearing for today's date. And he was to test on the 16th. Did you test on the 16th?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, and
Which of these you're pleading not guilty to? You did pay now? You paid?
Yes, I have paid, Your Honor.
Did you miss your appointment on October 11th?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you test positive for alcohol on October 4th and on September 21st?
I did, Your Honor.
okay, so
He went for a hair pull, Your Honor, just to see. You gave him the opportunity. They told him that they don't test for alcohol.
who doesn't test for alcohol?
So I went to on-site over in Lincoln Park, Your Honor, and I talked to the 3 people that were working there, and I called a supervisor, and they said that they do not test for alcohol in the hair pull. They said that they only do it for drugs.
Did I order a hair follicle test?
No, there was a question last time, and he debated whether he tested positive for alcohol. Gave him the opportunity to get a second test.
Okay,
Nothing to do with the court.
okay, because I don't recall ordering a hair follicle test.
No, you gave an opportunity to get a second test, and Ms. Shaw gave us the number for on-site, and he went there, and I have to believe him that they don't test for it. I wouldn't know either way.
Okay, sir, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear for the testimony about to give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. As to the allegation, sir, we'll take them one by one, so there isn't any confusion. As to the allegation you tested positive for alcohol September 21st of 2023, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As the allegation as of October 4th, you had failed to pay, how do you plead?
Not guilty.
As of October 4th.
Yeah, I have a receipt that shows that I have paid up to $300.
Yes, that was October 16th, correct? Okay, go ahead, look at your
Was
receipt.
it after October 4th?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sure was.
Okay, so that's why I clarified,
Okay.
as of October 4th, the allegation that you failed to pay, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As the allegation you failed to, I'm sorry, you tested positive for alcohol October 4th, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to the allegation you failed to appear for workforce October 5th, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to the allegation you failed to appear for probation appointment October 11th, how do you plead? And sir, you've gone over your advice of rights with your attorney, correct, regarding probation violation?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you understand all of those rights.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand by entering into a plea that you'll be waiving some of those rights, specifically your right to a contested hearing in these matters.
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand the possible penalty as a result of your plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that the recommendation in this matter is for probation to be revoked, the case closed without improvement, a probation violation fee, and 60 days jail. You understand that that's the recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor.
And knowing all that, do you still want to continue with your plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anybody promised you anything, threatened you, or coerced you in any way for you to enter into a plea?
No, Your Honor.
All right. And counsel, if you can please voir dire your client.
Now, Mr. Scott, you've indicated that you've heard the charges and that you admit to not paying your fines and costs on the day in question, that you did not appear for the work program on the date assigned, and you missed a probation appointment on the 11th of October. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you believe that the facts would prove beyond preponderance of the evidence that you did not appear, and that's why you're pleading guilty to those 3 counts.
Yes.
All right, let's discuss the alcohol. Tell the court what happened on September 21 of 2020. Sorry, Judge. I know I've been around a while, but it's like a little too long. 2023.
Honestly, Your Honor, I don't remember what I was doing that day.
Do you still have a problem with alcohol?
No,
Do you drink on occasion?
no. I was out with friends and I wanted to have a good time.
All right, so
It's not an excuse though.
All right, so your answer would be you drank that day, you consumed alcohol.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair enough, Judge. Now, how about October 4th?
October 4th, I just found out a friend was about to have another child and they went out to celebrate. And again, it's not an excuse.
You knew the orders of the court, is that right?
Yes,
Now, Mr. Scott, this is your first offense for drinking, right? Correct?
yes,
Now, you brought your mother here to court with you because primarily you live with her and care for her, is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
You know she's not gonna stop you from going to jail or not going to jail, is that correct?
Yes,
And you work, now, Your Honor's a judge, don't mistake me with my trouble, judge. And you work at a bar.
correct.
You have no other real talent or training as far as you're concerned at this time to find a job, other than maybe going to Krispy Kreme, right? There's nothing available, so you continue to work at the bar.
Yes,
You make a relatively decent living.
yes.
And what else do you have to tell the judge about your life, which you used to ask her to mitigate the 60 days in jail or keep you on probation?
Your Honor, I have 2 small kids and I spend time with them and I don't see them enough because of how I work at night and everything like that. Plus I'm helping my mother with not only her, but my elderly grandmother as well. She has no one else. When I go over there, I'm doing maintenance work on the house. I go and get groceries for them just because it's not easy for them to get out.
All right, Mr. Scott, you would agree, wouldn't you, that you have problems following the orders of the court, and that you may have a problem with alcohol?
Yes,
If the judge gave you an option for some time for incarceration and seeking either support for inpatient counseling, if it were affordable, or going into a specialty court to address alcohol and substance abuse issues, would you be interested in that?
yes,
Judge, we bring very little in terms of equity to the court here today, and certainly his mother isn't going to help change it. Might people bring children to court too to try to stay out of jail? I ask you that if you're going to incarcerate him for the full time, to give him a few days to get affairs in order and then report, or alternatively, impose some incarceration and then a review date. It's unbelievable when you have a breathalyzer score like this, probation like this, where he could easily complete it, then he would end up flopping. This is not just the first violation, Mr. Scott. I mean, there are several violations here. And the only thing that I submit is that today, this was no O.J. Simpson, absolutely not guilty. He indicated that he was guilty of all the charges. It's entirely up to the court. Mr. Scott knew that coming in, that there were bad consequences, and if you can find a way to be a Solomon and impose some penalties and give him another chance. I don't think the first offense, where there's clearly an underlying problem with alcohol, keeping him off probation. We'll get to the root of the problem, get to the root.
Okay, here are a couple observations that I have, Mr. Scouten. First, you had your last violation hearing on August 7th. And those violations were, you failed the test on 2 dates, and you failed to report to probation on 1 date. And mind you, you were sentenced on June 26th, okay? You had an alcohol tether from May 17th until June 20, well, I ordered the alcohol tether on May 17th. I'm not sure at what point you obtained it through the Wayne County Jail. I would presume within a week of that time. On June 26th, when this court sentenced you, sir, the alcohol tether was ordered removed. Since that time, you failed the test on July 13th. Not even a week, not even a month after you were sentenced to probation. You failed the test on July 18th. You didn't report to probation on July 26th. So as a result, this court ordered 30 days on the alcohol tether, increase your testing. You're testing that day, $50 probation violation fee, mandatory incarceration for any future violation of probation. So you were on notice as of August 7th, sir. One more violation. Then you had your alcohol tether on for 30 days. So I presume that's sometime into September. Let's presume it was September 7th or 8th, okay? Less than 2 weeks and you're already testing positive for alcohol. 2 weeks. Then you came in here last time and you were so convinced that you were unsure how you tested positive for alcohol because you didn't consume alcohol. So much so that you were trying to get a hair follicle test to prove otherwise. So you say. Then you were here last week. I'm sorry, strike that. Before you came in last week, you then, knowing that you already had a pending probation violation, you don't appear at your probation hearing on October 11th. You don't appear to workforce on October 5th. And you also tested positive for alcohol on October 4th. Again. And let's not forget that your original charge, sir, was a high BAC because you had a 0.22. You have now been on probation for 4 months, and you have now racked up your 8th violation. 8th. The purpose of probation is to allow you tools to correct behavior so that you don't reoffend. And it appears as though you've taken this court's orders and just thrown them up to the wind because they don't mean anything to you. You indicated that you went out because you had some drinks because you wanted to have a good time. Are you telling this court that you don't know how to enjoy yourself and have fun with your friends without having alcohol?
Sometimes it is hard, Your Honor.
And why is that?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
So if you know that it's hard and you don't know what triggers that, then you should be saying, I'm not going out. Have you told your friends that you're on probation?
Yes.
And are they not supportive in the realm of, no, you're not drinking, I'm not gonna let you drink?
They tend to keep to themselves, and it's my business.
I get some misread from.
So when you were on the alcohol tether, because you've been on the alcohol tether twice now, did you go out with your friends during that time?
No.
Why not?
Well, I would go and sit there, but I wouldn't be there long, I believe.
Okay, you weren't having a good time?
I would sit there, and being a sober person around a bunch of drunk people is not fun.
No, not usually. Not if they're acting like idiots. There can be drunk people that are funny. You can have fun laughing, right? But sometimes, more often than not, they act like idiots or they're belligerent. Okay, and sure, when you're the sober person, that's not fun. However, your desire to have fun and ignore this court's orders on multiple occasions is a consequence that you're going to have to pay for, sir. What's the parenting time schedule you have with your children?
I have them a couple nights during the week and every other weekend.
And where is it you work again?
Big League Brews over in Taylor.
Okay, and sir, I'm sure that you have, well, I'm sure it's great money because you get cash money or what have you. I'm sure you have plenty of other skills that would afford you an opportunity to work somewhere other than a bar situation. Would you agree or disagree?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what steps have you taken to remove yourself from that situation?
So I was waiting till probation was done, and I was actually, a buddy of mine is a truck driver, he hauls gas. And I've been talking to him about getting into that and going to school for it after probation. He said, obviously, I can't do it right now because I have to have my CDL. And right now I can't do it, but once I was done with probation, I was going to go to truck driving.
Why can't you do truck driving school while you're on probation?
Because my license was suspended, because of it. It was on, not suspended, it was on restriction.
Correct.
And I was told that my CDL wasn't, useful at the time. That I could just use it to go to and from work, court dates, probation, stuff like that, that the CDL was I guess you couldn't, it wasn't used, couldn't use it, I was told.
Right, but before you get your CDL, you don't have your CDL, do you?
I have my chauffeur's license, I was told that I couldn't use that.
Okay, but what I'm asking you, sir, is if you intend on getting your CDL, what's preventing you from going to school for that certification while you're on probation?
I have to have money because it takes a month to go to school for it. So I have to have money to live off for that month that I wouldn't be working. Because school is Monday through Friday, 8 in the morning till 5 at night.
And what is your shift at work?
My shift at work is 5 at night till 3 in the morning, and I work 4 to 5 days a week, and every weekend. So the only time I'd be able to work would be Friday and Saturday night.
And how old are your children?
My son's 13 and my daughter's 7.
Well, counsel, your client is shown that he is definitely not a candidate for probation. He has 8 violations in 4 months. So the court's going to revoke probation. The court's going to order you to pay a $50 probation violation fee, and the court is going to order 60 days jail.
We have a couple of days to get matters in order to report back here, Your Honor.
What I'm going to do, sir, is I'm going to order you to serve 45 days of that jail. I'm going to suspend 15 days. Make sure that you are in fact staying sober and you are in fact changing your employment path.
Judge, may I just interject something here? And it's not trying to whittle days down. What I heard him say when he was allocuting to the court is that he hasn't even gotten to the first step, and I'm not sure. Because my encouragement always is to sobriety and a good lifestyle with children, and having been brought into a family as an infant himself and how he was raised and what he's been through here. Mr. Scott perhaps would be better served. You don't want to be burdened with him on probation here, but it seems probation inculcates a sense of duty to live life better. And if he really wants sober living, I'd ask the court when he's released the scheduled review date to consider whether you want to continue probation. I realize that probation officers have better things to do than someone who does not show up, does not test. But he said in his statement that he hasn't even gotten the first step. He said that he's powerless when he's with others and he's not under control, that he drinks. And if he's interested in sobriety, are you interested in coming back and trying to address it?
Yes.
So that's what this 15 suspended days is. Instead of your client being on active probation, he has 15 more days hanging over his head. And so we're going to set this for jail review. So it'll kind of be like, I guess I'll be his probation officer, so to speak, right? But your client doesn't follow this court's orders enough to be on probation. So he's going to serve the 45 days. If he violates any of what I've already indicated, right? Not pursuing a different path of employment, not continuing sobriety, then he'll serve the other 15 days.
Yes.
All right. And counsel, I've heard your request for your client to have a day to report. However, he's had notice since August 7th that any violation would be mandatory incarceration. So he's going to report today.
All right, Ms. Moser, she knows they can make exchange of any property. You don't have to go to court.
Correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. They'll take it. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take her out and explain to her, Your Honor.
Thank you.